Good morning. Welcome with me Jajak Miharja from Today's Motorbikes. On Monday, 24 February 2024, MotoGP leaping legend Valentino Rossi has promised to return to Indonesia to witness Marco Bezzecchi and Fabio Gianantonio compete in MotoGP event at the Mandalika circuit. This season until 2026, Rossi team names Pertamina Enduro VR Porsche Racing will be collaborating with Indonesian company Pertamina Lubricants. The team and new motor Average will launch in Reach 1 Italy on Wednesday 24 February 2024. Rossi will come to Indonesia and try out the Mandalika circuit. The hope was conveyed by celebrity Raffi Ahmad who, along with the entourage of Pertamina Lubricants, attended the team launch. Valentino Rossi has a very large fan base in Indonesia, and during his active racing career, he often visited Indonesia for Yamaha team launches. However, since retiring at the end 2020-21 season, his chance of coming to Indonesia have become slim. Those chances are now reopening with the cooperation between VR Porsche and Pertamina Lubricants. However, Rossi, I did not mention when he will visit Mandalika. Well, that's all news today. I'm Jajak Maharja from Today Motorbike. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.
Good morning viewers, meet again Daniel in the Thursday 1 of January 2024 edition of Breaking News to describe the most up-to-date and trustworthy news, which we summarize in Breaking News this morning. The air pollution in Jakarta are cooking millions of the city inhabitants while the government is still gasping for solution. One of the proposed solutions is telling the civil servants to work from home, again to reduce the pollution. The reason of Greater Jakarta are concerned is the IQ APP has been listing Jakarta as one the countries with the worst air quality in the world. Last week, Jakarta reached the top spot, so Tangerang City in the west of Jakarta also ranked among the worst. Specialists have often been blamed by the government as the cause of pollution. Although President Jokowi Dodo surprisingly also mentioned the problem with coal. The Ministry of Environment said the specialists contribute for 44% of pollution in Jakarta. Acting Governor of DKI Jakarta, Heru Budi Hartono said roughly half of the city servants of Jakarta provincial government will have to work from home, and the ministries are asked to apply similar policy. We just discussed work from home to reduce transportation, which is assessed by the civil servants of DKI Jakarta. Work from home is 50%, 50% or 40%, 60% to reduce the activities of DKI regional government. We also asked other ministries to perform work from home together, said Heru Budi Hartono after a meeting with President Joko Widodo. at Freedom Palace on Monday, 48, 2023. That is why what I am reporting at this time. Daniel and entry crew and duty happy listening. Thank you. Good morning and see you again.
Good morning, welcome back with me Arjansa from Media BNB. On Tuesday, 5th February, 24 February 2024, Sintayong will remain as head coach of the Indonesian national team until his contract ends in December 2023. The Indonesian Football Association, or PSSI, confirmed on Tuesday. Yes, they will do. Keep Sintayong, General Secretary of PSSI Yunus Nusi, said here. Nusi remarked that Sintayong will continue to prepare the X20 national team to compete in the 2023 X20 Asian Cup that will be held in Uzbekistan on March 1 until 18. Sintayong is still in his home country South Korea following the Indonesian national team's exit in the semifinals of the 2022 AFF Cup. He is expected return to Jakarta in early February. Discussion on Sintayong's future with the Indonesian national teams have emerged as the contract of the former South Korean national team in the 2018 World Cup will expire in the end of the year after his 3 years in China. Sintayong was successful in helping the Indonesian team qualify for 2023 Asian Cup and the X20 2023 Asian Cup. The 52 years old coach has also improved the FIFA ranking of Indonesia from 179 to 151. Well, that's all news. Well, that's all news today. I am Ardiansa from Media BNB. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.
Good afternoon viewers, meet again with me Putri Oktaviani in the Wednesday 30 December 2023 edition of Seputar News to present the most up-to-date and reliable news that summarized in Seputar News this morning. More than 5,000 joint forces are deployed to guard the New Year Eve 2023 in Jakarta. The security will be concentrated on Sudirman and Tamrin routes. The main NYE stage in Jakarta is located at Bundaran HI. The spokesperson of Jakarta Metropolis Brigadier General Trunoyudo Wisnu Andiko said there are 5,674 to guard Jakarta, among them 3,963 from the police, 1,219 from the military, and 488 personnel from the government of the capital Jakarta. They will guard the security around the main stage at Bundaran HI and 12 other entertainment stages, and also prevent drug dealing and alcohol parties. The police are also closing off several routes to Jakarta area in order to prevent the convoy of vehicles coming in and disrupting the traffic. Jakarta is surrounded by satellite cities such as Bogor, Depok, and two Tangerang cities. Meanwhile, the local force Satpol PP of Jakarta Province are sending 1,640 personnel to guard the celebration of New Year 2024 in Jakarta. Around 930 of them will guard youth-oriented festivities on Sudirman Tamrin. 360 personnel are spreading all around Jakarta, and another 350 personnel will protect the public space on 1st January 2024. Satpol PP said they will prevent the lawbreakers and anticipate against the incoming of the small independent sellers and neither of social welfare service, which are euphemism for, among others, street food and sellers and beggars respectively. Stay tuned for the next update. I'm Putri Oktaviani. Good afternoon and goodbye.
Good morning. Welcome back with me Muhammad Fani Alfian from Lajoyan News. On Monday, January 24, 2024. We'll talk about Jose Mourinho's future a few weeks ago. Confirmed that the 2023 season was the Portuguese coach last on the US Roma bench. His farewell in January only jumped the gun of aspiration that would certainly arrive in June and accelerates a possible landing of the special one in Saudi Arabia. Last summer, Mourinho refused a hangover from there, but now Al Shabab are trying to take the opportunity to immediately convince him to face a new challenge. The Portuguese manager is open to evaluating the idea of coaching in the Saudi Pro League. However, talks are on hold and will continue only when the Saudi negotiator will have confirmation of the budget available for Jose. Whatever his choice, Jose could also bring with him a first reinforcement, Paulo Dybala. The Argentine player has no plans to leave Roma in this transfer window, but is open to evaluate proposal for the next season. Also from Saudi Arabia, especially if the club is coached by Mourinho. At the same time, the Galatasaray are working to extend the contract of Paulo, expiring in 2025. But to date, he is more inclined to start a new experience elsewhere. Well, that's all news today. I am Muhammad Fani Alfian from Lajoyan News. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.
Good evening. Meet again with me, Riza Ramdhani. We'll provide stories about the world of football in only around the ball. This team I will give set now to the world of football. Bayern Munich want to pay their last respect to their legend, Franz Beckenbauer. Their Rotten will prepare a special furniture event for the Kaiser. Beckenbauer, legend for Bayern Munich, died one Sunday, 7 January 2024. The German football legend died at the age of 78. Bayern Munich is deeply saddened by the death of Beckenbauer. The Bundesliga giant lost a figure who had brought 14 titles, including 4 German League titles and the Champions Cup trophies to their club in the 1960 and 1970 170. Not only that, he excelled as a player. Franz Beckenbauer also excelled as a coach. He coached Bayern Munich in 1993, 1994, and 1996 with one Bundesliga and UEFA Cup. Rummenigge said the entire world of football and beyond more the loss of our friend France. Bayern must hold a furniture for him in a stadium that will never have existed without him. Bayern Munich display Liechtenstein raiding Denki France at the Allianz Arena everything during the Wars of Morning. Special Liechtenstein Lake will also be visible one Friday, 12th January. Evening local team win Bayer of Hoffenheim. Thank you for listening breaking news this evening. I am Riza Ramdhani from Around the Ball for your attention. See you next in the week.
Hello, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are back on the sideline of your activities with me, Yudi Saputra, from What's Up Today, who will provide the latest and most up-to-date news 11 January 2024. It's time for our viewers to say goodbye analog TV. Welcome digital TV. According to Budi Ari Setiadi, the mystery of communication and information Kominfo will stop analog TV broadcast or analog switch off ASO on Wednesday, 2nd November 2020. Until this news is published in the countdown on the official Kominfo website, the will start to kill analog TV broadcast and meaning for the Jabodetabek are Law No 11 of 2020 conning job creation mandates the cancellation of analog broadcast and migration to digital broadcasting. Article 72 number 8 insert article 60 ampere of the broadcast law for this reason. The role of the set box is vital for society. Stay tuned of the next update on What's Up Today. I am Yudi Saputra. Good morning and goodbye. Udah, Miss.
Good morning, welcome back to with me Randy Saputra Alif Gunawan from round the world. On Monday 24 February 2024. The status of the Moon Merapi in West Sumatra is risen from level 2 alert to level 3. Alert is dense asked not to do activity within the 4-kilometer radius. In the connection with the activity level of Moon Merapi and the later level, it is recommended that people around Mount Merapi, Calimbras, visitor or the tourist not enter the carry or the activities with a 4-kilometer radius area from the eruption center or the feedback crater. Appellate the head the PMG beside the Hendra Gunawan in copy of the level inscribed notification letter as the report by Detik Summit Monday 24 February year 2004 evening. Hendra also asked people how the life around the valleys and the rivers, the origin, the peak of the Mount Marab to always be our potential and the threat of lava dangers to occur, especially during the rain season. People who live around the rivers, the origin, the peak of the Marapen should always be aware of the potential threat of lava to occur, especially during the rainy season. Aside of season rain occurs, people and fish to always make covering the tree, nose and the mouth to avoid respiratory tract problems early. As other equipment to protect the eyes and skin apart from that stay in the office to secure clean water facility and clean up the roofs of the tree house from the thick volcanic ash to touch do not collapse and the hazard. He also asked and practiced to maintain a conditioned atmosphere in squidty, not to spread false narratives of and not to profit by issue who was serious and clear. Well, then as news today, I Randy Saputra Alif Gunawan from around world. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.
Good morning, welcome back with me Salman Pambudi Makutamo from Current News on Monday, 24 February 2024. A 19-year-old youth from East Lampung Regency was arrested by the Bandar Lampung City Police Polresta for being involved in theft of a motorbike of theft. The man with the initial GA was arrested along with 11 other perpetrators of theft. They were presented at a press conference to reveal that case at the Bandar Lampung Police Headquarters. Wednesday, 28 September 2024. GA Plety admitted that he had committed that more than once. So forgetful, GA said that he had been the perpetrator of theft since 2 years ago, when he was 17 years old. Willie in action, GA and his partner are still alert. The victim's motorbike that was successfully targeted was sold. into the hands of a middleman in Hetz Lampung for around Rp 4 million. Well, that's all news today. I am Saman Pambudi Mangkutamo from Korean News. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.
Good morning, viewers. Welcome to the popular news segment. I'm Dimas as the presenter from Tempopedia on Sunday, 25th February 2024. Now, let's see how Mount Semeru experienced 19 eruption in Monday, 22nd January 2024. Mount Semeru, with a height of 3,676 meters above sea level, located in East Java, experienced 19 earthquake eruption based on seismic observation on Monday at 0 o'clock to 6 o'clock local time. An officer from the Mount Semeru observation post, Yadi Yuliandi, in his written report, stated that Mount Semeru experienced 19 earthquake eruptions with an amplitude of 10 to 21 millimeters and an earthquake duration of 65 to 140 seconds. The activity of the highest mountain on Java Island on Sunday, January 21st, during the observation period at 0 o'clock to 24 o'clock local time, recorded 69 eruption earthquakes, 3 avalanche earthquakes, 13 gas earthquakes, 2 harmonic earthquakes, 1 volcanic earthquakes, and 4 distant tectonic earthquakes, Yuliandi stated. Meanwhile, head of the Prevention, Preparedness, and Logistic Division of the Lumajang Regional Disaster Mitigation Agency, or BPBD, Wawan Hadi Siswoyo, stated that Mount Semeru status is still alert, or status is still at level 3 or alert. The public must pay attention to the potential for hot cloud and lava avalanches along rivers and valleys from the peak of Mount Semeru, especially along Besuk Hobokan, Besuk Bang, Besuk Kembar, and Besuk Sa, as well as the potential for cold lava flow in small rivers. Okay, that's all. That's the latest news from the popular news segment. I'm Dimas. Good morning and have a good day.
Good morning. Welcome back with me Zo Ahmad Nawawi from Southern Notification on Monday, 24 February 2024. 2 U.S. Navy SEALs who went missing during an operation to seize Iranian-made weapon bound for Houthis in Yemen are now presumed dead. The U.S. military says the incident took place on 11 January when commandos were boarding a ship off the coast of Somalia. According to media reports, one west swept away, the second jumped in to save him. U.S. Central Command said attempts were being made to recover the bodies. The U.S. Navy identified the 2 as 27-year-old Navy Special Warfare Operator Second Class Nathan Gage Ingram and 37-year-old Navy Special Warfare Operator First Class Christopher G. Chamber. Military official told the Associated Press the first SEAL, Ingram, was swept into heavy seas during the night mission as they were boarding an unflagged dhow a traditional sailing ship where the weapons were discovered. The second chamber entered the water to try to save him. Captain Blake L. Kenny, commander of Naval Special Warfare Group 1, said in a statement that the two Navy SEALs were exceptional warriors. Well, that's all news today. I'm Zul Ahmad Awi from Southern Notification. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.
Good morning, viewers. Welcome back with me, Maulana Ibrahim, from CNC on Sunday, 5 February 2024. A group of armed people stormed the TC television station studio in Ecuador on Tuesday 9 local time. The raid occurred while the crew was doing a live broadcast. According to AFP, the government took several journalists and television crew hostage. The live broadcast continued without interruption, even though the lights around the shooting location went out. A TC journalist informed AFP via WhatsApp message. The incident occurred when the new president of Ecuador, Daniel Noboa, was worried about the escape of one of his country's most famous gangsters from prison. He is just Adolfo Mejia of known as Vito. Noboa declared a nation emergency situation for 60 days on Monday 8, including the implementation of a curve. In response, the gangster took several police officers hostage and released a video. One of the hostages was forced to read a message addressed to Noboa. Well, that all news today. I am Maulana Ibrahim. CNC, thank you and have a nice day.
Hello, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are back on the silence of your activities with me, Entar Manuel, from WhatsApp today, who will provide the latest and most up-to-date news 23 January 2024. A motorbike ride with the initials OHA 30 was killed by a dump truck on Jalan Raya Rawabuntu, Serpong on Wednesday, 38, 2023. Head of the Public Information Subsection Kasubsi Penmas of the Sons Tangerang Police, Ibda Bayu, said the accident occurred at around 5:30 o'clock. Initially, OHA fell after trying to avoid a gaping hole on the left side of the road. At the same time, a dump truck driven by a man with the initials G. Third day, suddenly ran over the motorbike and the victim. According to the victim, lost control and fell and crushed by the left middle wheel of a dump truck that was passing in the same direction Wednesday. As a result, the motorbike rider Wawar, as a teacher, died at the scene. The victim's body was offered to the Tangerang Regency Regional General Hospital. Meanwhile, the fatal accident is instantly under investigation by the Tangsel Police Traffic Unit Gakum. Stay tuned for the next update on WhatsApp today. Good morning and good day.
Good morning viewers, I am the Putra Maulana. Welcome to joining me in the news program that I will provide in an up-to-date and factual manner. I will accompany you for approximately 5 minutes with the latest information, and this is our main news. Tripoli, Libya, September 80, 10, 2023. A catastrophic flood has wreaked havoc in Libya, resulting in the tragic loss of over 11,300 lives and causing widespread devastation across the nation. The torrential rains, which began on September 5-10, triggered severe flooding in several regions of Libya, including the capital city of Tripoli. The rapidly rising water inundated homes, infrastructure, and agricultural areas, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. Rescue and relief efforts have been underway since the onset of the disaster, with local authorities and humanitarian organizations joining forces to assist the affected population. Emergency services have been working tirelessly to evacuate stranded residents, provide medical aid, and distribute essential supplies to those in need. The scale of the disaster has overwhelmed local rescues, prompting an international response. Multiple countries and organizations have pledged financial aid, relief supplies, and personnel to support the ongoing rescue and recovery operations in Libya. As the rescue and recovery efforts continue, Libya mourns the loss of thousands of lives and grapple with the imminent challenge posed by this devastating flood. And the audience, that's the news for this morning. I am the Putra Maulana. I need permission to leave. Thank you for being for a new moment. Have a good activity and see you next time.
Welcome to Yongki Trihartanto. Bentel Police prohibits rabbit strains from operating on highways. Bentel Police prohibits rabbit strains from operating on the highways. This was the result of the rabbit trains from Bentel having an accident in Prambanan. Sleman Som, Tek Ago,
the Bantul police advised them not to force rabbit trains to operate on the highways. All this is to avoid unwanted incidents, said head of public relations of the Bantul police. Aibtu Ainek Jeffrey to the Detik Jogja, Thursday, November 21, 2023. Jeffrey said there were a number of reasons why rabbit trains were prohibited from operating on the highway. Among them are that the rabbit trains does not have safety standards. There is no guarantee of safety for passengers and it does meet vehicle standards. The rabbit chariot also does not have covers on the sides and there is no roadworthiness test. So it can underrate passengers and there is no guarantee of safety. He said, and the rabbit trains is also no vehicle in the vehicle type according to the Indonesian's national standards (SNI). He said the police initial effort is that if there are still rabbit trains operating on the highway, they will be give warning. If you are still stubborn, action will be taken according to appellate regulations. The action is a verbal warning. There was one before, but we only received an verbal warning, he said. On the other hand, the police do not prohibit rabbit trains from operating in tourist train areas. This is because the scope of tourist trains is limited and not as busy on the main rabbit. Rabbit trains are only allowed to operate at tourist train expense. Prevalence. A rabbit train rolled over while transporting dozens of residents on Jalak Gatak, Sumberbau, Bokoharjo, Prambanan, Sleman. Sunday, November 9:10 morning, the train was no strong wind going up the road. A total of 8 people were injured. Luckily, there were no facilities in that single accident.
Good morning, welcome back with me Rian from Wawasan Dunia on Monday 24 February 2024. Erling Haaland became the fastest player to reach 20 Premier League goals as Manchester City overcome stubborn lead to reduce Arsenal lead at the top of the table to 5 points. Frustrated by a disciplined and determined home side and their own privileges for much of the first half at Allen Road, City snatched the lead just before the breakthrough. Rodri's follow-up finish and then sped into the distance in onside second half. Having seen a couple of efforts saved early in the game, Haaland, playing in the city of his birth against the side he support, did not celebrate his goal but saw little mercy in scoring them to bring up his impressive tally in just his 14th game of campaign. He could not miss for his first set up in front of an open goal by the unselfish Jack Grealish, who himself had missed a hat-trick of good opportunities in the first 45 minutes. Grealish was the provider again for Haaland's second, which he slided in from close range following a deflection to give lead too much of a deficit to overcome. In keeping with their display, the home side refused to lay down and got a goal back through Pascal Struijk, either from a corner. And they could have set up grandstand finish had Joe Geller poke finish not trickle the wrong side of the post. City to secure the win to move back up to second behind the Gunners and 2 points better off than third place Newcastle, both whom won on Monday. The relegation battle is no less intense, with Leeds in 15th place on 15 points and one of 11 teams separated by just 8 points. Well, that all now student. I am Rian Hermawan from Wawasan Dunia. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.
Good morning, viewers. Welcome back with me, Muhammad Harun Hamdan from Main Event News Story Event SMK Bangun Samangsa. Main Event News Story and now Worthy Events Rapid Industrialization Press Environmental Conflict in Developing Nations. Danger in industrialization across many developing nations has raised significantly environmental consequences are conflict on the street of between economic growth and ecological sustainability. Elaboration background event as sisi nation television to affect economy and investment and provide employment opportunities for the growing population and also effect on the environment are becoming increasingly apparent. Deforestation, air and water pollution, and habitat destruction are some of the consequences of unchecked industrial expansion. Responses in particular face the challenge of balanced economic gain from resource extraction with replacing in natural ecosystem. Express emphasis the need for fiscal regulation, sustainable funds, it is an investment in clean technologies to mitigate the environmental impact of industrialization. The source of information source it is report is based on a comprehensive study conducted by United Nations Environment Programme UNEP with assess the environmental impact of industrialization in developing nations. Will text L now today. I am Muhammad Harun Hamdan from SMK Bangun Samangsa. Thank you and have a nice day.
Hello, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are back on the sidelines of your activity with me, Usama Nabil Aziz from CNB, who will provide the latest and most up-to-date news. 23 January 2024, a motorbike rider with the initial OH 30 was killed by a dump truck on Jalan Raya Rawabuntu Serpong on Wednesday 38 2023. Head of the Public Information Subsection Kapsubsi Penmas of the South Tangerang Police Ibda Bayu said the accident occurred at around 5 o'clock. Initial OH fell after trying to avoid a gaping hole on the left side of the road. At the same time, a dump truck driven by a man with the initial G 30 sadly ran over the motorbike and the victim. According to the victim, lost control and the field and was crossed by the left middle wheel of the dump truck that was passing in the same direction Wednesday. As a result, the motorbike rider worked as a teacher did at the scene. The victim's body is expedited to the Tangerang Regional General Hospital. Meanwhile, the fatal accident, the case is currently under investigation by the Tangsel Police Traffic Unit Gakum. Stay tuned for the next update on CNB. I am Usama Nabil Aziz. Good morning and goodbye.
Good afternoon, viewers. Meet again with me, Raka, in the Wednesday, 24 of January 2024 edition of Breaking News to distribute the most up-to-date and trustworthy. Now, we summarize in breaking now this morning. Now, children trapped in care for poverty house after crash in Western Australia. That killed parent. A 5-year-old girl saved her younger brother left after a crazy day. Crash the killed their parents and left them trapped inside the vehicle for more than 2 days. Jack 28-year-old and Cindy 25-year-old dead after their off-wheel drive left the road and rolled about about 10 kilometers from the hometown of Condinin in county Western Australia. Jack Day and Cindy were found dead in their vehicle after it crashed on a country road. Their children for left after car crash that killed present the couple had driven 200 kilometers from Nartham when at about 1 a.m. on Sunday. The family Land Rover left the road and piled onto its roof in blast light. There three cleaners who survived the accident, but were trapped in the aftermath. Vehicle with their dead parents weren't found until about midnight on Tuesday. Their cousin Michael reported the couple doctor had said her younger brother lived during the ordeal. The 5-year-old became unstuck in the vehicle and the vehicle incident got the 1-year-old out of the car seat when they were stuck in the car for the 50 lap hours in 30-degree heat, he said on Wednesday, closing. That is what I'm reporting at this time. Raka and the entire crew on the day have resigned. Thank you. Good morning and see you again.
Good afternoon, people. Back with me, Kadafi, in Hot News. This time we will be delivering the news of traffic jam, which often becomes a major problem for big cities in Indonesia, including the capital city, Jakarta. On a typical day, the volume of vehicles is rising, especially during the long weekend. The congestion occurs in many parts of Jakarta and Kota Casablanca as it was. The congestion is also followed by heavy rain that floods the area and the surroundings, starting from this morning at 9
a.m. that affect the condition to get worse. Big rain also falls in the west part of Jakarta, already caused flood. It flooded to a height of 13 centimeters and disrupt the road user at it can be dangerous, especially for motorcycle riders. The police officers are going down to help with the traffic, and that was the news for this afternoon. Follow the next update in hot news on Horror Ahead. I am Gaddafi. Good afternoon and see you.